Hey everybody, welcome back to Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff. At the end of my last build video, I said a thing that I say all the time, and I have realized that I've never really explained. I said, not everything you make has to be the best thing you've ever made. And I thought today, in this week's video, we'd talk about why I say that all the time, what it means, and why I think it's important to remember. Alright, let's get into it. The long and short of it, spoiler, it's not really a spoiler, but the answer to that is it's okay to make mediocre things. It's okay to make shitty things as long as you're making things. All right, let's go. Okay, so what do I mean when I say that not everything you make has to be the best thing you've ever made? Oh, look out, he's got the whiteboard out, he's gonna do charts. This is how long we've been doing it. This is how good we are at doing it. And when we get started making things, even if we don't consciously think this, some part of us thinks that this line is gonna go like this. And this is a completely unreasonable expectation. That would mean that everything that we make is better than the thing that we made before. This is a completely unreasonable expectation. Not only because sometimes we have additional time constraints that we didn't have in the previous project, but also we're comparing apples to rocket ships. You can't compare one thing that you made to another completely different thing that you've made. It's unreasonable to compare the scrap wood spoons and spatulas that I made a couple of weeks ago to the coffee table that I made 5 years ago, and say that the spoons and spatulas should be better than the coffee table because I made them more recently. These are just nonsense things to think that we're going to be doing this line. And even if we're going to be reasonable and think that it's okay for our line to go, oh, we get a little bit better and then we drop off a little bit, and then we get a little bit better and then we drop off a little bit. This is an unreasonable expectation too, because sometimes, I don't know if you know this, sometimes you just need a thing that does a thing. And I think what's more important than everything being better than the thing that we made before is that we're always trying to improve, and that we're always making things as good as they need to be. And I think rather than have our goal for how good something is be the best that it can be, I think it's important that we make mediocre our baseline. And so what I mean by that is that your mediocre gets better. So when we make things as good as they need to be in order to serve their function, is good enough now better than what good enough used to be? And I think that's where we need to look for our improvement level. And so when I say that, what is the goal of the object that we're making? Is the goal to be a nice coffee table? Did you achieve that goal? Did you create a nice coffee table? Yes, I did. You met your goal. Okay? The next time you want to make a nice coffee table, is your nice coffee table, is your acceptable level of coffee table higher now than it used to be? That means you're improving. And to meet your new level of nice coffee table means you're improving. To say that everything that you make, you need to be constantly improving and every project needs to level up, that's nonsense. So what I want you to think about when you're making things is, what is the goal of this thing? The box that I just put up on the wall to hold my spray cans, is that a better box to hold spray cans than I would have made 5 years ago? Absolutely it is. If I made the Unity coffee table now, would it be better than the Unity coffee table that I made a number of years ago? Absolutely it would. But is the box that I put up on the wall to hold my spray cans better than the Unity coffee table? No, and it shouldn't be. Why would you do that? Why would you make the box that holds your spray cans better than the really nice coffee table that you interact with every day in your living room? Fit for purpose is a real thing. Is the spatula good enough to stir your eggs? Then it's a good spatula. Okay? I think we need to stop getting down on ourselves when we don't see improvement because we don't think that the thing we just made is better than the previous thing that we made. Stop it. Be kind to yourself. Is the thing that you made pretty okay? Then good for you. Move on to the next thing and try to make that thing pretty okay. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't strive for excellence. If the goal of your thing is to be the nicest thing you've ever made, then have that be the goal and hope the result is the best thing you've ever made. But that should not be the goal of everything that we made. I had somebody ask me recently, they saw the little tables that are holding up my jointer and my drill press out here in the shop. And they said, well, do you have anything about making those little tables? No, I don't have a video of making the little tables. They're just cheap, knocked together, quick things to hold up equipment that I made out of scrap 2x4 and scrap plywood that I had laying around. Are these quick and dirty tables that I made to hold tools better than the quick and dirty tables that I would have made to hold tools 5 years ago? Absolutely they are. Probably 5 years ago, if I would have made these tables, I might not have bothered tapering the legs. And if I did, I probably wouldn't have done them with a hand plane. If I was doing that box up on the wall that holds my spray cans, the video that just released, if I was making that box 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have taped off the edges of my block plane when I was trimming the edge banding, so I didn't damage the veneer of the plywood. In fact, I guarantee you I wouldn't have done that. I would have taken a random orbit sander to the edges of that edge banding, and I would have burned through the plywood. And it would have been perfectly okay at the time. Now, that wouldn't have been okay because I'm further along in my journey. And that's improvement. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say that. I hope that it means something to you. I want you to get out there and I want you to be making things and putting things out into the world and making them to the best of your ability when it's necessary to do that. But sometimes you just need a thing that does a thing, and that's perfectly good too. Make that thing too. Okay, it's okay to make mediocre things. It's okay to make shitty things if that's what you need that serves a purpose. Okay? So that's it for this one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. We'll see you next time when maybe I'm making something and maybe that thing will be pretty mediocre. But maybe that'll be okay. All right. Bye for now. All right. Hey everybody, welcome back to Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff. At the end of my last video, I said something yet again that I say all the time. I don't need to say yet again if I'm going to say that I say it all the time. I realized while I was editing that video that I've never really explained why I say that and what it means. So today we're going to talk about why I say that and what it means. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. When we get into making things, what we hope, this is how long we've been doing it. This is how good we are at doing it. In our heads, even if we don't consciously think this, in our subconscious, we want the line to go like that. Or some variation. Maybe it's a parabola. Is that the right word for that? It doesn't matter. We want the line, the trajectory to be going in this direction. This is a completely unrealistic expectation. And I'm going to tell you why after I erase these lines. These erasers on these are not very good. Let's get into it. A little bit of a talkie today. We're going to do another talkie. But it's like a philosophic talkie. It's a philosophic talkie. It's a philo-talkie. It's a philo-talkie I like. It's a philo-talkie. Okay, one more. Don't buy the dollar store whiteboard markers. Don't buy the dollar store whiteboard markers. At the end of my last video, I said something that I say all the time and realize that I have never explained or gone into... Let's do that whole thing again. Maybe not the purple because it didn't show up good. Car. Let's do it again. This video is gonna take a long time. Lots of erasing and doing it again. Maybe the whiteboard wasn't the best plan.